you, we have always been under a certain type of spell. What do I mean? And welcome guys back to the channel. My name is Gigi and I'm here sometimes just to talk about some message that I gotten and I really had to relay it out to the world through YouTube. Now, why do I keep saying that sometimes we are under spell? Let's see what is spell, because to be under spell, it means that you are not in control of your actions and it doesn't align with what you want, but you still do it because of the spell cast onto you. That's right. Now, how do we even get cast by a spell? Well, we get cast by a spell by the people that is very dearest to us. Today, I really want to talk about a topic around family karma and how spells or some agreement that we have been agreed to throughout our life had affect us. And third, how to be aware, to raise your awareness, to raise your consciousness to against all this that have been put onto us. So this three. Now, first thing, why is this linking so much like spells and family karma? It's because our body is not just ours. It is by far the evolution of years and years, generation from generations of habits, of thoughts, of feelings, of emotion. Like all of this is programmed onto, instilled, diffused into our body even. So imagine that the moment you are born, you don't just exist in that moment, but you have already exist. The first existence of you're already in your grandmother's body, because when your grandma has your mom, you are already in her. So it is three people in sharing one body, just as you right now. So what does this all mean? This means that we have traits that has been passed down that we aren't aware, the programs, the systems. So oftentimes you would find that some friends of yours are repeating exactly what their parents are doing and they never ever realize that, because they doesn't even know. They do not have the awareness of that. Now, I have been studying a lot. I'm someone who's been very like close with the topic of family, because the topic of family, I have been researching on it for a long time. I've been trying to understand it in my own time, reading books about it and so on, and it fascinates me so much. Because why? Because sometimes when we do not understand our roots, when we don't know a certain thing, we make assumption, and that assumption costs us misery, costs us our life. Because of this assumption, we are so unclear that there's always a fog when we're communicating to other people, and that translate into your relationship, translate into your career, translate into your friendship. You see these patterns ongoing for a long time throughout your life, and you have to be the one, you, not others, to stop this pattern, because it is your responsibility for yourself. If you want to be a warrior, if you want to be someone who fight off all this assumption that you have in your brain, so you have to really stop taking things personally. Now, before I come to understand my family karma, I always ask the question of why is this happening to me? Why me? Why do they not know that their action had caused me so much pain and hurt? And I was playing this victim mindset. It's okay to play victim mindset, but just know that when you're a victim, you can't change anything. You just can't change anything because you are putting essentially your control on other people. You're giving your control to other people when you're victim blaming, when you are the victim. So that's why it's so important to understand the second thing, spells. That's right. Like, not just the one that you're seeing in TV where there's a witch and then they perform like a certain ritual and then burn some candle. I'm not talking about those spells. I'm talking about one thing that nobody realizes. That is the words. The words that has been cast, that was said to you, that you accept and cast a spell on you to block you, to restrict you from your freedom of being who you are. And oftentimes these words, these spells come from the people that you love, which is oftentimes few or most of the spell that were cast on us were when we were young, by our loved one, by our family, by our teachers, by our friends. When we believe them, they have control over us, because our silence or our restriction on that spells that were cast on us, we believe them and we act on them even though we don't want to. So these are the spells that has been instilled into our body from generation of generation, because know that the people who cast you those spells, your loved one, they don't mean it, because they do not know about that. They are not intentional about that. And I have to realize this the hard way by going through a lot of observation, a lot of feeling, why am I thinking like this? Why am I built like this? Like, why am I like having this type of emotion? I have to know that and dig through that. It is stemmed from my past, or it is stemmed from a habit of my family generation, because you do see a pattern when you're looking at your uncle, what they're thinking, what they're doing, who they are choosing as their spouse. You see it from your grandparents, you see it from your aunties, like you see it from your siblings and cousins. Now us, as the offspring or as the latest generation of our family line, we hold the duty to change. Because why? Because we are the best version in our family. We are, if you know that. Because the whole point of giving birth, of having children, and children having growing up and then getting married and having children again, is for producing people who is smarter than the last generation, because you have the trait the best trait of your both mom and dad together in you. And they have the best trait of their grandparents in them. And the cycle continue. So you have to be better than them. And it is natural for you to be better than them, because that's how it is. So you have to be awake or be aware, I would say. Just having that consciousness could help you so much. Why do I say this? Because starting from your family, if you solve all of this, or if you even find out the answer and truth of your family karma, because each family have their own karma, and it makes sense. And if you seek and you found the truth will set you free. And the next time someone try to cast a spell on you, you would say no firmly, and you would not believe that. Because the moment you believe that, you become vulnerable. For example, like what type of spells that I'm talking about. For example, if your mom growing up has told you that you're the lazy one in the family, you're the one that doesn't clean the room, or you're the one that is fat one even in the family. And if you believe that in you, somewhere deep down you believe that, you will embody that. You will embody that. And that is true if you are. So I want you to do, what I want you to do right now is get a paper and pen and write down some of the things that your parents had always say you, and see if you are like that. If your actions gravitate towards that. Because if your parent tells you that, wow, she never cleans her room, she don't know how to clean her room, and if you believe that spells is cast on you, then your room will never be clean, because subconsciously you are accepting that agreement. You establish the agreement that your mom gave you, that you are not able to clean your room. So those are one of the examples of how the people that we love cast a spell on us. Trust me, it is hard at first to even say no to those spells, but trust me that if every single day, so this is the third thing that I'm going through, it is the awareness. If every single day you have the awareness and you're trying your best to like deny what you are not, then you are being better every single day, because you're trying your best. So you don't judge that hard on yourself, because you have already tried your best in every situation. Now, every situation, our best could be different, because sometimes we could be sick, sometimes we could be unwell, or sometimes we could feel really good. So our best is different when we're in different state. But as long as you have that awareness that this is happening to you, then you can go and fix that wound. You can go and fix that. And it might be scary at first, but the most powerful thing is you know that you have control over this, because you can basically take actions. Like, just knowing is not enough, guys. Taking actions, like just take action. Inspire action, any type of actions to prove that you're getting into a better directions. So I feel like everything is such an interlink. It's such an interlink because we have so many ties, invisible ties and energy cord that we're linked to with every person in our family. You may not see it, but you feel it. It's there. If you stop for a second and really feel it, you would understand that that's not your thoughts. That has been within your blood for a long time. For a long time. And you just have to trust and establish new agreement, establish new type of you that is made out of love. How do you establish that? Through words too, because if words can be bad, it can cast a spell, then it could cast good spells. So words are so powerful and important. You can choose to literally speak words of love, encouragement, gratitude, uplifting. You have the options to literally do it. And it is by those that you plant the love, the seed of love and care into others. When you show others that you can do it, that you come from a place of light, even without speaking, they can feel it and they will change because they no longer operate from the words of fear in their body. Because when you feel so good around people of light, of love, where magic happens around them, because you always find a certain people where they're always happy even though life is so much happening to them. There's a reason, because they are the big tides, the big wave. They are the starter. So when you feel that you no longer want to operate, trust me, you will no longer want to operate from a place of fear. Of course, it's hard at first. Nobody say this was easy. That's why it is called a warrior, because you literally have to be at war with all this that's happening in your mind. But once you go through it, or once you try your best every single day, there will come a day that you see so much improvement in yourself that you're a changed person. Believe that. And that's all for today. I hope you guys got something from this video, and see you guys on the next one.